What's going on? This is JP Miller with Career Inclusive. How are you doing? Today, I want to talk to you about the way to attract a candidate, the way to attract employers to your candidacy as a job seeker. And this can apply to any range. If you're just starting your career, if you've been in your career for a long time, you're looking to make the next step. Professionals of really of all levels, they make these mistakes, and I want to help you stop begging for the job that you want, stop begging to get into the career that you want, and push yourself into those roles by creating attractiveness around your candidacy. And we're going to tell you how to do that today. All right, so I have seen a lot, too many of these blog posts on LinkedIn and such, where people are basically begging for jobs. I know I've mentioned this in the past, but there's some of the most vulnerable, given that they're vulnerable, but they're, in a sense, they're also pathetic. And these posts will say something like, I need a job. I haven't had a job in a long time, and desperate for work. Please, I will do anything. I will do anything. I just need something, please. And then people comment, they'll say, hey, give me your resume. Maybe I can help you. There's a few people feel bad. And I believe in general that people are good people, and that in our core, most people are very good, and that we desire to help people. We desire to help one another grow and to achieve our dreams. But it's not the right way or the best way that you can go about finding work. I liken the job search to just about any other human endeavor where you're trying to make a match. And what is the probably the most common outside of getting a job, most common human endeavor where you're trying to make a match that probably popped into your head right now, right? It's finding a mate, right? Or finding someone to date. And how do you create a date? How do you find a partner? Do you go with the partner who is begging you for their attention? Right? Probably not. In most cases, when you are too available and you're too open and you're just too much into it, it's kind of a little weird. You start to back up, right? Or you see, like, there's often with relationships that are starting to fall apart, or maybe they're hitting some of the running on fumes, so to speak, and one person is reaching and the other person is pushing and making distance, whereas the one who's reaching and trying to do even more, in some cases they're actually doing the opposite, the exact opposite of what they should be doing, which is to be giving space to recognize the situation and to be present, but to give space and to allow space for their partner to miss them. And then by giving the space, they start to can create the attractiveness again, right? By doing other things too, like by looking your best, and by maybe like dressing a little more and putting on the cologne or the perfume, right? And creating some attractiveness around who you are as a person again, rather than like getting in this worked up in a passionate state where it's almost bordering on desperation and creating this break, right, and creating more distance. And the job search is just like that. Whereas, except in this situation, maybe you only get one opportunity. And so you really need to make as strong a candidacy as possible. And so, what can you do? If it's not, if the answer isn't going on LinkedIn and making a very like a bleeding heart post about how bad you need anything, right? Instead, begin to create what some might call a personal brand, some call it a strategy, a strategic vision. And there are different names for it, but the idea of it is that you are as narrowed in and as honed in as possible, right? So that you're not doing anything. You don't do anything. Because, I mean, doing anything, you'd be digging ditches. Right? Me personally, I talk to a lot of STEM professionals, and they're not looking for jobs where they can dig ditches, right? Nothing wrong with that. Construction crews can make great money. Foremans make a lot of money. The foremans are not the ones who are in the hole digging the ditches, right? They're the ones telling the operators where to dig and what to do. I'm just saying there's nothing wrong with any career, but the people that I'm talking to are usually STEM professionals, and they're not actually looking to do anything. But if you say you're doing anything, okay, for one, you've diluted your brand, and then two, you're saying that you would do anything. Like you will work for 50 cents a day or for 7.25 an hour, and you will do anything. Okay, so anything could be anything, and anything can get pretty dirty pretty quick. And that's not what you really want to do, right? Even the people who are on LinkedIn saying, I'll do anything, do they really mean they'll do anything? Okay, and if not, then let's not say that. Let's not be falsely advertising ourselves. What is it you want to do? Hey, I would do anything. Does that mean like I would even do secretary work? And again, I'm not bashing on secretaries. This is a very noble profession, and the strong executive assistant can make 5 figures, 6 figures if they're working for the right company and they're top of their game, right? But if that's what you want to do, if it's not what you want to do, okay, like what's the lowest thing that you're willing to do? It's the highest thing you really want to do. Create your brand around that highest thing. Yeah, the lowest thing is there as like a backup plan. You're willing to do that and you put in the hustle and you put in the grind. You will work as a secretary even though you want to be a data scientist or something. But again, that's wasted time. Just don't say you do anything because it looks like you're begging for a job and you're not being honest. You're not being honest with yourself. You're not being honest with other people. Okay? And I'm not bashing on anyone's career. I'm not bagging on anyone. I don't disrespect anyone for the line of work that they do. I just want to see people doing the thing that they want to do. Okay. I want to see you be doing the thing that you're most passionate about, the thing that means the most to you. And that's what I want to see you in that line of work. And whatever that may be, I don't bag on anyone for doing that thing, as long as that's the thing that they want to be doing, or they have a master plan. One of my best friends, he had a plan when we were in our 20s. He did a lot of carpentry jobs and all sorts of construction jobs. And he did some of the nastiest construction work that there possibly was. And he did it all. And he worked for terrible employers who cheat him out of his pay and talk bad to him. And he put up with a lot throughout his career. Okay. And fast forward several years later, his dream was always, I'm going to learn everything in the construction field. I'm going to learn it all. I'm going to be the very best that I can be. I'm going to know everything. I'm going to have a strong understanding. I'm going to specialize in trim carpentry, and like detailed carpentry is very difficult to do, to get measurements. Like you're talking like down to an eighth of an inch or quarter of an inch, sometimes like down to the 16th, like very small measurements within a couple millimeters precision, working with wood. And he said, I'm going to learn this. I'm gonna learn everything I can about it, from rough carpentry all the way down to the fine carpentry. And now he's one of the best. He's one of the best. He makes big buku's money working for himself. See, he had a plan. He dug in the dirt and he put in the hard work. But he always had a plan. He said, "This is what I'm going to do. This is what I'm going to be." And some people, they laugh at him when he talk about his vision. He talk about his work that he was going to do. They laugh at him. You know, but he's doing it now. He's doing it, and he's doing it in a big way. And so, what's your vision? What's your plan? Right? Do you know what you want to be? And what I like about my friend is that he said, "I'm going to be the best. I'm going to be the best trim carpenter in the world." He said, and he said, "I'm going to be the best." And people laugh at him, but now he is one of the best. He absolutely is one of the best. And in his market, in this case, trim carpentry is very much a localized market. I guarantee he's one of the best trim carpenters in his market. Okay, so what do you want to do? I talk to STEM professionals mostly. You want to be the best data scientist. You want to be the best data analyst. You want to be the best engineer, software engineer, best cyber CSEC. What do you want to do? If you want to be the best, okay, now what are you willing to do? All right, I'm getting started. I'm going to take all the grunt IT jobs. I'm going to learn networks. I'm going to learn servers. I'm going to build everything with my hands. I'm going to really get into the nitty gritty, and I'm going to work the cases. I'm going to be in the facilities where it's hot on one side of the server and it's freezing cold on the other side. But I'm going to be there. I'm going to do everything I possibly can. I'm going to learn it. I'm going to get my certifications. I'm going to move up, and you can see yourself in 20 years or in 10 years. I'm going to be the absolute best that there is. No one else in the industry is going to be able to touch me. Right? My facilities are going to be secure. Nothing's going to get past me and my people. Right? You got to be careful when you say that, because almost always it does. But if you're really determined, you can be that person. Do you have to have a plan? Most people don't have a plan. And that's where you get, I can do anything. You get this begging. No, so stop begging. What's your plan? Make a plan. Have the confidence in your plan. Now, my friend had extreme confidence. Before he really was had earned his confidence, he had confidence. But he knew because he could see himself in the future. Okay, so you need to see yourself in the future as you are, not as who you're paid to be or what you're paid to be. But I see people all the time with a huge portfolio and education, and they say, I hope to be a software engineer. My friend, you already are a software engineer. You already are this thing. Just because you're not paid to be this thing doesn't mean you're not that. You're not who you are paid to be. You're not what you're paid to be. Right? You are who you prepare yourself to be. So I don't care if you're getting paid for it or not. Self-employed people, they secretaries make more than they do in the early startup phases oftentimes, right? But they can see a vision where there's huge payoff, and one day I'm going to be the best paid person in the company that I build, right? It's all about having the vision. So you have to know the confidence and have that charisma. It's just like dating. I'm not a love advice expert at all, but punch above your weight. Punch above your weight. Why not? What's the worst that can happen? Have that confidence, create that attraction around you of who you are and what you can do, and punch above your weight. Same thing with the jobs, punch above your weight. Look for the jobs that's just a little bit out of your reach. It's just a couple steps up from where you are now. You say, well, that's all the job descriptions are saying it's going to take me another 3 to 5 years to get there. All right, but I've got confidence that I can do this, and I've got this extreme confidence, and I know I'm going to be the best in this field. I can do that job, and apply to it, and then reach out on LinkedIn, contact the employer, contact the hiring manager that's over that job. Hey, I just sent my resume. I hope you get a chance to see it. I'm sorry. Uh, Contact like a couple seniors who might be like your bosses or colleagues, and say, hey, would you be willing to put in a referral? This is who I am. This is what I can do for the company. I'm really excited about this company. Would you be willing to put in a referral for me? Okay, and that goes to that narrowness of what are you going to do? Okay, if you know that you can be the best engineer and you can eliminate bugs, maybe you have experience with the software with this company, and there are things about it that bug you, that drive you crazy. All right, and you can debug it so it doesn't bug you and all the other millions of people who use the software. Say it. Hey, this is a problem with your software. I believe I can fix it. This is my proof. This is my portfolio. And if you let me, you give me a chance, I'm going to fix this. And this is, and give yourself the first job. Managers are very busy. They're very busy trying to put out fires, very busy trying to push the forward vision forward, the director level. They're very busy managing all these moving parts and all these people, and it's a lot of work. And then the last thing they want is some greenhorn coming up and saying, hey, I'll do anything. What can I do? You're asking this manager to take time from their busy day to give you work. Okay. And they don't have the time for that. Instead, come to them, hey, I I know you don't know me from Adam or Eve, and but this is who I am. This is my portfolio. This is a very organized resume that I have that shows one point after another exactly what I can do for you. And if you give me a shot, I'm going to take care of this problem for you. Well, that's fresh. That's awesome. And you can say, hey, I have studied your company and I know what your problems are, and I can do this for you. Yeah, and not everyone is going to be reacting to that. I'm not saying like you're going to say that to 5 companies and you're going to get 5 awesome offers. Yeah, some companies are short-sighted and they're not going to recognize that talent that's hitting them in the face practically. So you're going to have to shop yourself around, right? And again, just like dating, the first person you ever talked to with confidence didn't fall head over heels, right? That'd be kind of crazy. Yeah, you've got to apply, you've got to find, you've got to search, you've got to put in the time, you've got to get on your grind, right? The same with hustling. If you've ever tried to look for a client, The first person you talk to, unless you're extremely lucky or extremely well planned, probably not going to say, yeah, I'll give you my money. Right? It takes time. You got to process. There's a process to go through until you find your path, and you find your elevator pitch, and you find exactly how to talk about yourself in a very clear and concise manner that gets to the point within like 30 to 60 seconds. So begging is repelling, right? Don't be a repellent. Be attractive. Confidence is attractive. That's it. That creates attraction. Network from a place of strength. Speak from a place of strength. Live in a place of strength. In your mind, be in a place of strength. When the negative Nancy's come, they come talking the jibber jabbering in your head, ignore that, or 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 hear it. Probably like better advice than just ignore it is to acknowledge it. Don't accept it, but acknowledge it. I hear you. I hear what you're saying. I hear that you don't think I am what I say I am going to be, or I will fail. I acknowledge that. I'm in control. Let it go. That's it. Let it go. And just do that as often as you need to. If you have to do that every 5 minutes, then do it every 5 minutes until you only have to do it every 10 minutes. And then until you only have to do it every hour. And then until you only have to do it once a week. And then until you only need to do it like once a month, or until something big comes up and that fear starts to rise up again. Say, fear, I recognize you. Fear, you are a child. I've got this. I'm an adult. I'm in control. And I've got this. I'm going to carry you through, and we're going to be successful. Okay, so go back to bed. The adults are in control. All right, so I want to hear your success stories. I want to hear the stories that you might have about when you punched higher, you punched above your weight, and you actually did it. You actually got the job, and you succeeded. I want to hear that story. So share that story with me in the comments, and we will see you again tomorrow for 60 Days of Value. This is JP at Career Inclusive. If you haven't yet, join our Discord. It's public. It's available. We're here for you. I want to talk to you. Find me on LinkedIn. Ciao.